In this lesson, I quickly want to take a look at grouping rests. Now, for grouping rests, the barrier rule still apply for 4/4 time. The barrier rule still applies for 4/4 time. Let's first have a look at 2/4. The easiest way I always say is to remember that in 2/4 time we may only use a semi-brief rest, which counts 4, but there's an exception to it as well, which I'll explain now, or we can only use the crotchet for grade 1. Right, so we won't be using the minim. Why? Because if we have a whole bar of silence in a piece of music, irrespective of the time signature, the time signature can be 9/8 or 5/15, it doesn't matter. We can use a semi-brief rest which counts 4, and in this case it will say that for 2 beats I won't be playing anything. I won't be playing anything in that bar, so I can draw my semi-brief rest there to show that there won't be any notes played in this 2/4 bar. For the rest, we will only be using crotchets. That's how easy it is. In 3/4, we will only be using our semi-brief or our crotchet. We won't be putting a minim. Even if we can put a minim right there, we will not be doing it because it's too difficult to read for a musician. It's best in 3/4 to see the beat, to feel, not only feel the beat, but to see the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, drawing semi-brief. This time the semi-brief will show that we won't be playing anything. Though it counts 4, we will only be counting up until 3. Because it just shows that there's silence throughout the whole bar. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we withdraw a minim there, it's just too difficult to read, and it loses that feel of the 3/4 feel in that bar. And it's best to be very consistent when we do music theory. We need to be very consistent, and we need to make it as easy as possible for the performer. So when we compose music, this is much better than writing a minim in that bar. Again, 3/4, we only use the semi-brief to show that there's no notes being played in the bar, or we use crotchets where we can show rest for grade 1. In 4/4 common time, we can use the semi-brief, or I see there's a mistake here, or the minim, and even the crotchet. But careful, the barrier rule. This is very important. In 4/4 common time, we have to make sure that we take note of the barrier rule between beats 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, I can use a crotchet and a minim. I will not be using a minim first, because then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that one goes over the barrier. The rest is over the barrier. The same for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have 2 quavers at the end, they do like to ask this one. If we have two quavers on each side, then we will have 1 and beat 4 filled in. 2 and 3 won't be. We can't use a minim because then it will go over the barrier. We rather use 2 crotchets. And again, for 4/4, if there's a silence in the whole bar, we use the semi-brief rest.